and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you some of the hardcover books that I've bought recently. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 hardcover books, all of different genres. So today I wanted to talk about each one. I have not read any of these books, so we're just going to talk about the front and read the backs, just the summaries. This book I got at a store called Cat Nap Books, and this was only $5. The rest of these books I got at Walmart. Not the best place to buy books, but lately they have been pulling through. So let's get into it. So first, we have Spellbinder. This is a very beautiful cover. A love story with magical interruptions by Melanie Ron. I really liked just the presentation of this book. I know they say not to judge a book by its cover, but a lot of the time it does sell me. So, praise for Melanie Ron. I hope that I'm saying her name right. And this is a hardcover book. You can see right here that I paid $5, when originally it is $24.95. So, Holly McClure has it all. Beauty, success, a great apartment in Manhattan, good friends, a sexy new boyfriend, and one more thing, a very rare magical talent. Holly is a witch. There's magic in the big city, literally. New York City has a small and very discreet population of witches and wizards who live and love and go dancing just like everyone else. Holly McClure is one of them, a successful writer who tries to ignore her magical heritage, except when the local magistrate needs her special gift in his coven. Holly, however, is far more interested in Evan Lachlan, the handsome marshal who works with her best friend, lawyer Susanna Wingfield. But trouble has come to the city in the form of a black coven run by a murderous psychopath. The mysterious Noel is recruiting a lot of would-be Satanists for his rituals, and he'd very much like to have Holly. Not for herself or her talents, but for her blood. Holly is something very special, not just a witch, but a spellbinder. Her blood has the power to strengthen any spell or ritual, for good or for evil. The danger to Holly is extreme. Her passionate affair will be derailed by those who want to drain her for their own purpose. and her dearest friends will be put in peril for their lives. In the end, it will be magic against magic, and Holly McClure will have to risk all for life and love. Now, I thought this sounded very interesting. There's not always too much to pick from. You really have to dig for the big, good books. Now this is, how many? 393 pages, so it's not too much. Melanie Ron is the author of the best-selling Dragon Prince trilogy and of the Dragon Star trilogy. Her most recent novels are The Ruins of Ambrai and The Magaborn Trader. She lives in Flagstaff, Arizona. And that is Spellbinder, which I'm very excited to read this. We have the moon here. So, we'll go on to the next book. Alright. Next, we have The Familiar, a novel by Lee Bardugo, which if I butcher these names, I apologize in advance. And I will not lie, this cover really got me. It's giving like Nosferatu, kind of, and Dracula, and Anne Rice. And I just really liked the aesthetic of this cover. I think it's very just Victorian and beautiful. You have this scorpion right here, and I just loved it. It's very simple, but very just beautiful. And she's written Hellbent and Ninth House, which apparently are very big books. I had told my friend that I bought this book, and she was shocked that I hadn't heard of her. I did pay $30 for this, which I don't like spending that kind of money on one book. But as you can see, it is very pretty. So I could not help myself. It's giving vintage, and I just love that. Like, painted edges are just my thing now. They're just so pretty. I am hoping to get the Fourth Wing printed ones too, painted. But from #1 New York Times best-selling author Lee Bardugo comes a spell-binding novel set in the Spanish Golden Age. Fate can be changed, curses can be broken. In a shabby house on a shabby street in the new capital of Madrid, Lucia Cortada uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil as a scullion. But when her scheming mistress discovers that the lump of a servant cowering in the kitchen is actually hiding a talent for little miracles, she demands Lucia use those gifts to better the family's social position. What begins as a simple amusement for the nobility takes a perilous turn when Lucia garners the notice of Antonio Perez, the disgraced secretary to Spain's king. Still reeling from the defeat of his armada, the king is desperate for any advantage in the war against England's heretic queen, and Perez will stop at nothing to regain the king's favor. Determined to seize this one chance to better her fortunes, Lucia plunges into a world of seers and alchemists, holy men and hucksters, where the lines between magic, science, and fraud are never certain. But as her notoriety grows, so does the danger that her Jewish blood will doom her to the Inquisition's wrath. She will have to use every bit of her wit and will to survive, even if that means enlisting the help of Gillian Santangle, an embittered immortal familiar whose own secrets could prove deadly for them both. Now, I just want to see. Yes, it just has an imprint here. An imprint right here. So this sounds really interesting. Very excited to read this book. And it looks like we have acknowledgements. 379 pages. Not bad. Leigh Bardugo is a #1 New York Times best-selling author of Ninth House, Hellbent, and the creator of the Grishaverse, now a Netflix original series, which spans the Shadow and Bone trilogy, the Six of Crows duology, the King of Scars duology, and much more. Her short fiction has appeared in multiple anthologies, including the Best American, Science Fiction, and Fantasy. She lives in Los Angeles and is an Associate Fellow of Pauli Murray College at Yale University. Very fancy woman. A lot of work and a lot of imagination. Not everybody can do these things and can just create these universes. So So that is The Familiar. Right. So next, we have The Five Broken Blades by May Corland. This book is so beautiful. It has so much attention to detail, and you don't even know that until, the story itself, I'm sure, but only one can take the crown. Look at this. Just beautiful artwork. Let the best liar win. It's a very beautiful book. And I'm so excited for this book. I love books about just this lore. I paid $33, and we're going to read the inscription here. It is the season for treason. The king of Yusan must die. The 5 most dangerous liars in the land have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective: to kill the God King June. He has it coming. Under the merciless immortal hand, the nobles flourish, while the poor and innocent are imprisoned, ruined, or sold. And now each of the 5 blades will come for him. Each has tasted bitterness from the hired hitman, seeking atonement, a lovely assassin who seeks freedom, or even the prince banished for his cruel crimes. None can resist the sweet, icy lure of vengeance. They can agree on murder, they can agree on treachery, but for these 5 killers, each versed in deception, lies, and betrayal, it's not enough to forge an alliance. To survive, they'll have to find a way to trust each other, but only one can take the crown. Let the best liar win. It's just so pretty. The time taken in books. Never judge a book by its cover, but when they're this beautiful, the author's taking this much time to execute their story, that counts for something to me. All these extra steps, all these extra details that weren't needed, but I pay attention to that myself. It's not always what's needed for a good book. I'm not saying that at all. But the attention to detail is important in any case. It looks like we have, it goes from different points of views as well. For my heart and my sunshine and my man of steel. I love when they have their maps and stuff. I just like attention to detail. Summary of that. Catan, Follow, Yusan, Demneki, Gaia, Due, Idle Lake, Wally Palace, Strait of Teeth, East Sea, North Sea, Kakatan Mountains, Dangwan Mountains, Amrock Desert, Due. Very nice. It looks like 474. Very nice. I just like a very good execution. And like for this kind of story, I would expect this kind of beauty and artwork. And I'm glad that it was included. So that is the 5 Broken Blades. This is book number 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, for our last book. I think you all would think I was sick if I did not have at least one dark romance book. And this book. For a spooky woman like myself, I cannot help it. Like, I love the execution of this. I love when books feel vintage. I love it. Oh, and this has artwork inside as well. Does it have it for every? It does. This is when I don't mind spending the money. Like, the lightning. I have crossed oceans of time to find you. Oh. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Oh my god. Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as well a dark house and a whip as a madman too. Interesting. I'm very intrigued. My friend and I were grocery shopping together. That's what we do every time we get paid, and we get at least one book for us to read together, and this was one of those books, and it is stunning. There's always some madness in love, but there is also always some reason in madness. This is going to be a great time, I can tell. Oh no. I hate when they have playlists for books. Oh, 392 pages. I don't like that. Okay, I guess we'll just deal with it, I guess. Oh, they have Evanescence on here. Okay. I'm gonna try and ignore this. These, just when people, they have Halsey. Oh my god. A lot of Billie Eilish and Evanescence. Bring Me to Life, wow. I'm gonna try and act like I didn't see this. Thank God they put it in the back. Goodness me. That bummed me out. We're gonna disregard it and act like it never happened. So, very pretty book. So, let's see. I paid $30 for this book. And for our last book, An Unusual Girl, an Enigmatic Man, an Ancient Castle. What could go wrong? An outcast and her entire life, Corvina Clem is left adrift after losing her mother. When she receives the admission letter from the mysterious University of Varenmore, she accepts it as a sign from the universe. The last thing she expects, though, is an old, secluded castle on top of a mountain riddled with secrets, deceit, and death. Vaude Deverell is an enigma and enjoys being a closed book, but knows exactly everything that happens in the university. As a part-time professor working on his thesis, Vaude has been around long enough to know the dangers the castle possesses, and he knows the moment his path crosses with Corvina that she's dangerous to everything that he is. They shouldn't have caught each other's eye. They cannot be. But a chill-inducing, century-old mystery forces them to collide. People have disappeared every 5 years for more than 100 years. Corvina is getting clues to unraveling it all, and Vad needs to keep an eye on her. And so begins a tale of the mysterious, the morbid, the macabre, and a deep love that blossoms in the unlikeliest of places. So that is Gothicana. I love all this artwork. I love that it's so much like Dracula as well. So, that is our last book. That is Gothicana by Runix. Runix is a USA Today and international best-selling author of romance. Her stories range across subgenres from dark contemporary to gothic to historical to fantasy and more, and are currently being translated into more than 10 languages. Her pen name has a very special meaning to her, which, to be fair, if I was writing dark romance, I would keep a pen name as well. Just because I feel like my mom would melt. She's melting. She would. I love this black rose. I am obsessed with black roses. Love it. I know they are not natural, but I just like it. I remember back in the day when it was really popular to have black glitter roses. Just interesting. Love this stone gate. Alright, my lovely lovelies. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you found this video relaxing and enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts or have read these books, no spoilers, please. But please just let me know if you have any positive or even negative interactions with these books. I hope that the background noises today were not too distracting. I just am here to relax you and pretty much talk about things that I like with you.